Serverless programming does not mean not having a server at all. If you have used AWS services like EC2 or CloudFormation, which is the infrastructure as service or infrastructure as code, or even EBS, the Elastic Beanstalk, where we can deploy our applications and everything our application needs is already there, which we called backend as service, then you have come very close to serverless development, almost there to serverless programming. My definition of serverless programming is about using all the components that are already there in the cloud to solve a business problem without worrying about the infrastructure, the non-functional requirements like scalability, reliability, etc., while paying only for what we use and how long we use it. Paying for only that what we use in the cloud and how long we use it. That is my definition of serverless programming. So quickly bringing in all the components that are there in the cloud to solve a business problem while paying for what we use and how long we use it. And if we need any customization or if we have to write our own code, that is where we will use functions as nano services. That is where Lambda comes in. We will be learning more about that in the next few lectures. The advantages of serverless programming are speed to the market, which is very important today. You can build a nano service using all these components within the cloud and write some custom code if required and send it to production within a couple of days or even half a day, depending on what you are trying to solve. Low infrastructure costs, as I said, we will be paying for only those services we use in the cloud and for how long we use it. Scalability and reliability. The beauty of cloud, especially AWS, is scalability and reliability is built into most of these components, including the functions or lambdas, as we will see in lectures later on. As the load increases, they will automatically scale, and if one of these components goes down, there will be a backup that will take its job in a different availability zone altogether. Cost-based usage. That is what differentiates serverless programming from anything else. We will be charged only for the resources we are using and how long we use it. When you start working with functions, nano services as AWS Lambdas, you will see that you will not have the environment up and running for a long time like we do in typical server-based applications. The environment will come up, the Lambda will be executed, and once it is done with its job, it will wait for a few seconds to see if there are more requests coming in. And if there are no more requests, the Lambda service will shut down the entire environment. That is the beauty of usage-based cost, which is the main power of or advantage of serverless programming. So let's see how we got here. Let's take a look at the evolution of serverless programming by looking at three important things. The hosting hardware, the computational units, and the architectural styles have evolved over time as follows. We used to have physical data centers in which we used to have physical servers, and then the architecture was monolithic at some point. Everything was in a single application. Next, we had shared data centers across teams within an organization, or sometimes organizations could share the data centers and the hardware they had with each other. At this point, we had virtual machines evolving and entire apps as well. Instead of monolithic applications, we have divided the application into different tiers, and each tier was deployed on different virtual machines, and they used to communicate and all that. Next, slowly the private cloud for a particular organization has evolved. We had containers like Docker, and on the right side, microservices have been ruling the world for several years now, especially the last few years. Then comes the public cloud, which happened a long time ago again. And then came functions, which is the heart of serverless programming, functions. And on the architectural style, it is nano services. So each function you will be creating is nothing but a nano service. We will learn more about functions and nano services in the next few lectures. So these functions and nano services are what makes serverless programming what it is. They give us all these advantages: speed to market, low infrastructure cost, scalability, reliability, usage based cost. So, to quickly summarize, serverless programming is not about not having a server, it is more about using the existing components and, if required, create our own custom code through Lambda functions while not worrying about the infrastructure or maintenance about the server. Also, these nano services or functions that we create will be up, the entire environment for this will be up only as required and will be charged based on how long it is used. That is the key in serverless programming. You will learn a few more things about nano services and serverless programming principles in the next few lectures. Then you have also quickly seen the evolution of hardware, computational units, and architectural styles over the past few years. Functions, the function based service, and nano services are the key for serverless programming. We will learn these two in the next couple of lectures.